And we finally have our access. Wait a minute. Oh, everyone just loaded in. Okay. That was about as awkward as expected. Still, we're here now, and that's all that matters. I'm fine, honestly. Better to be waved through with a stern warning than be denied entry after all. Even allowing that the years I spent in the first passed here in the blink of an eye, this city feels untouched by time. Allow me to extend upon thee my warmest welcome, Alexander. May the wisdom of my homeland aid us in our endeavours. You are doubtless eager to take in the sights. Not to worry, Alex. The city is not like to vanish before we finish our discussion. That's a pretty good nod to people who want to just go running around to looking at everything. Ah, here we are at last. The great city of Charlotte. You may have noticed some similarities with the Crystarium, yes? In fact, Oh, but we really should let Kral have her say first. We can continue this conversation at another time. Ah, that's pretty cool. I am unaccustomed to fabricating lies on demand. Why should it matter now? Why should it matter how I earn my living? I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. Also, yeah, I like how it was dawn when we were coming in, and then it's nighttime when we get in. Funny that. I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. Sure. Next ship to sail. Do. Alright. Clothing. Old Sholian, new to you. So that's pretty solid start, I'd say. Like, we're instantly, I think it's the quickest. Actually, no, wait, Heavensward got us straight in as well because it was like straight away. Anyways, doesn't matter. Old Sholian, new to you. Krell sweeps the scions with a speculative look. I had thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Alex and Estinian's first time in Charlotte. For the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. Gobbos! You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldesian Annex. How does that sound? It is a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Leveilleur estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighbourhood all the same. I am equally untethered, as it were. There is no particular place that my kin call home. I was the wrong person's voice. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. also saw mammoths. The annex was west of the Etheric Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. I too have places I would be remiss not to visit forthwith. By thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. But I could... Oh. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you'll have me. Come, Alex, Charlian awaits. Do 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 do. Oh dear, his enthusiasm is infectious, isn't it? I always forget that those two were friends. After you, my friend. I am more than content to follow your lead. Grahatia is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Grahatia behind by entering a different area, using the Ethernet, or by putting too much distance between you. You can also speak with Grahatia and select options to part ways, or select the option to part ways. If you wish to have Grahatia accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. While Grahatia is accompanying you, next try speaking with Kryl. All set? Then let us be on our way. Our first stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. It's a cafe on the west side of the harbour. Kryl is also now accompanying you. Lead your two companions to the last stand and speak with Kryl at the designated location. While you are accompanied, you may encounter conversation points along the way, which offer additional topics of discussion. Enter the glowing area and speak with your quest companions to initiate these bonus conversations. Enjoy exploring your surroundings together. I'm grateful to have Kryl's help in reacquainting myself with this place. It's almost as if I'm seeing it with new eyes, as you are. Come on, let's head to the cafe. It may not seem so at a glance, but the last stand is actually a very important part of the city. I'll go over there in a second. Tuning. Discuss the giant statue in the harbour. Now that's a sight one could hardly forget. The great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Baldesion, I was usually quartered on the Isle of Val, but I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to the city. The path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Sharlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honoured him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes, but our faith is not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgalians. Individual Sharlayans can and do, worship the divinities of their choosing. Okay, so they do continue with you. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Sharlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavour with a certain indifference. Ah yes, I remember the bread. How can I put this? The food is... well, it's bland. As encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf. Yep, I remember. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first, and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the stadium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and pulled all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Sharlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an island of otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall that burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu. Not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you were a typical Sharlayan when it came to cheap and convenient raha. But surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? The stairs to the side of the cafe there would take us up to the Etheric Plaza. Burger? Burger? Where burger? Give me burger. There's the giant shield. I tried to say a snail and shell and came out with shale. Aye, it be the shale. Boop. Thank you. Someone's getting into the good costume sense. An unusual shape, isn't it? I assure you, however, that it's a perfectly functioning etherite. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located on this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Sharlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of elegant etherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Our path leads northeast to the Agora, Sharlayan's largest marketplace. Ooh. Why does your name sound familiar? Books? Books? Discuss the bookstores. Do you mind if I browse the shelves for a moment? There might be some hidden gems I've yet to read. Only a moment? How optimistic. Feel free to browse all you like, but we won't wait around for you. Perhaps I'll return later then. These little open-air bookstores are so uniquely Sharlayan I'd always thought them a common sight until I visited other nations. Fair enough. See, this is the new thing of making sure you don't miss any of the extra story stuff. Welcome to the Agora, where you can find wares made in Sharlayan, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. They also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out, for the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? On a more serious note, your next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. You must head back to the Etheric Plaza, follow the path north, then climb the stairs up to the imposing building at the very top. Okie dokie. Let's see what gear. I remember these outfits. They're pretty nice. They fit with the Sharlayan aesthetic. What else we got? Ooh, gemstone trader. Can I access you yet? Nope. I was wanting to see if they had anything. Retainer. Alright. So here. Do. Haha, I knew there'd be something. I wonder if there's one between each thing. Discuss the water feature. Sure. These little decorative features are typical of Sharlayan's architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters on the Isle of Val were rather simple and rustic by comparison. Okay. This is the Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Sharlayans, water represents more than a life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the Great Flood, which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine ewer. This is the reason you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Okay, I understand that. The grand structure before you is the rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, upon which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. All of the stage has since evolved into council chambers. The nature of the forum and the duties of its members remains largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raham? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here, one can see the entire city spread out below. No, I can't. I'm not allowed to move the camera that far. The vista puts me in mind of my arrival in the first. Those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asking me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Sharlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town, a community, Kristarin. I could almost see its echoes. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the councillors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. I can sort of see the Crystarium in this. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us this was where those who put ashore the Archon, oh my god, Nyun Kreph built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Sharlayan families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbours. That estate belongs to our friends from House Leveilleur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Sharlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Now, shall we head directly to the Baldesian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? Let me think. We head down towards the harbour, cross the bridge to our right, then follow the path below the Etheric Plaza. Correct. After you, Alex. I need to remember to grab these. I think you're not allowed to teleport. So let's just continue on foot. And enjoy the music. And the scenery. Aha, see, I would have missed something. I see that down there. Discuss Journey's End. Right, we cross this bridge here as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back in the Etheric Plaza. Sharlayan is full of educational and research institutions, but there are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Ooh, it's gotten a bit grim. Want Etherite shard. Or Ethernet shard. I always call them Etherite shards. Oh god. Ooh. Wait a minute. So them entering the circle turns the map off for a second. Okay. I guess because it's loading in the bubble. I think we're just missing that one. The Nominon! Where is my baby? Precious baby. I love anime. Also, not that you ever see it. The Nominon is the title that I always go by. There's a party going on inside. Do, 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 do. As the joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you, this is the Baldesian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive on the doorstep of the phenomenon, but I think we've explored enough for one day. We could take you there another time. Inside with you then. I'm back! I've brought Alexander and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship then. Hello, Graha. It's nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Alexander. I've heard many a tale of your exploits. Oh, Jika? Oh, Jika, son Jika? It's been an age. Allow me to introduce Ojika, cousin of Ejika son Jika, and administration officer for the students of Baldesian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. I read the reports on the Eureka expedition. I hope Ejika didn't cause you too much trouble. I remember. I knew there was something about your smug little face that I recognized. Oh, the entire of the Eureka expedition refusing to call Ejika. Oh, pronouns. He's impatient and impetuous, but a good sort of heart. A good sort at heart. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlian. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Now that our former headquarters is on the wrong side of the world, among other things, the annex has become our new base of operations, all for intents and purpose. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we will see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telephori fall. Through that door on the left there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forward. Once everyone arrives, that is. You probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. I've had private quarters prepared for you in the Andron, so please feel free to make yourself at home. Ah, the nap rooms. Perfect for an afternoon doze. Oh, I didn't mean to give you the wrong impression. The chambers are quite well appointed. Far more so than some cheap roadside inn, you may be assured. It was simply that we were often so busy with research, or exhausted from journeys abroad, that we would slip into the Andron just to steal a few winks. And thus they became known among the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps may last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you all in the main hall. I know he won't. I really know he won't. But I really hope we walk into the room and there's a window and the shoe bill's just sitting there. Like, the fuck, dude? How did you get here? How? I won't, but I really hope. Let's see how nice this room is. See how it compares with the Crystarium.